Have you ever blamed yourself for things that have gone wrong in your life? Maybe you didn't study hard enough because that led to the failure of the test. Maybe your kids aren't listening to you and you haven't read enough parenting books or went to enough lectures or asked the right people for the right advice. Maybe just things just haven't worked out in your life the way you have wanted to and you went into blame mode. We learned something tremendously insightful from our patriarch Abraham. And what I'm about to tell you is actually going to change the way you look at your life, the way you look at yourself, the way you're going to probably live your life knowing this information. It's just life altering, life changing, and it's going to enable you to become more often experiencing a life of serenity or moments of serenity. I'm sure that you have probably wanted not to be in blame mode. You just wanted peace. You just wanted to make peace with yourself, with your situation. Avraham Avinu, our patriarch, was given 10 tests to overcome. Each test was more and more difficult than the one before. Now, the word in Hebrew for test is nisayon. He accomplished and overcame 10 of them. As we said, each one is more and more difficult. Now you could think, hello, haven't I proved enough? Haven't I done so much to prove my greatness? That's probably what Abraham is teaching us. But in the end, the answer is actually, even though Abraham was so great, he actually didn't accomplish anything. Never did accomplish a thing. And this is why. Nes in Hebrew means miracle. A miracle is something that defies the laws of nature. In other words, it is a miracle because it defies the laws of nature. It's not natural, which makes it miraculous. When Hashem sends us a nisayon, a test, this test is a challenge. It is an opportunity to activate the part of ourselves that are bigger than human nature. Much bigger than human nature. We overcome a test, which is an opportunity for greatness. And just because we want to overcome that challenge, we will have the opportunity to experience life in a way where we're surprised at ourselves. How can I do that? I can't believe I did that. Because it is miraculous. We defy the laws of nature. A Jew is not confined by that which is humanly possible. Because a Jew has a neshama, a piece of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, a tzelem Elokim, this is why he's able to live a miraculous life. Abraham soared through 10 tests, which are humanly impossible. Just think about it. He was given the last test to sacrifice his own son when he wasn't even able to hurt a fly. He was the epitome of kindness. His all four walls of his home were open for any visitors. He thirsted to do kindness, but to hurt his own son, he overcame that test, and Hashem gifted him, spared him with the test, spared him with sacrificing his son, but he knew he would be able to do it no matter what. We inherited from Abraham the ability to access the part of ourselves which we can overcome challenges humanly impossible. As we said, an opportunity to live life miraculously is a nisayon. When we have challenges, we are here to embrace them. Life is about challenges, as we said many times in the past. Living life above human nature is overcoming our nature, and that is living a miraculous life. The existence of the Jewish people is a miracle. Don't you wish sometimes you could see an open miracle? When the war was over, World War II, people who survived the war were so absolutely sure The life of the Jewish people was over. Most of the Jewish people were just non-existent, and those who survived knew there was no future left for them, let alone building a family. The people who survived the war were skeletons with no family, broken lives, deteriorating health, and no future. When you see a school bus full of Jewish children, that is an open miracle. Because look where we are today. After a few decades, the Jewish people are flourishing, thank God. That's an open miracle. All we have to do is look into history, look into what's happened, and it just doesn't make sense. The numbers don't make sense. That's an open miracle. So we cannot at the same time complain when we live in our neighborhoods for quieter lives, for not being able to hear the birds chirp, for the neighbors being too noisy, because that is an open miracle. The existence of the Jewish people is an open miracle. Abraham and Sarah engaged in many acts of kindnesses, yet the Torah gives us explicit detail in a specific act of kindness. And this is the following. This is the story that was told because the meaning it gives over is very, very, very important. When the day is done, Abraham had not accomplished a thing. In other words, when the angels came, Abraham was sitting in his tent, the three angels came. He didn't know they were angels, he thought they were people. So right away, the Torah goes into detail in how he served them, how he greeted them, what he gave him. Everything was gourmet, everything was hot, fresh, and delicious. The Torah goes through so much detail. Why? Why this story? He did so many acts of kindnesses. He was about a decade old already, but why this story? And the answer is exceptionally profound. The answer is nobody was actually needing anything. They were angels. They didn't need to be fed. They were angels. Angels don't get hungry. They weren't thirsting for anything. He didn't need to quench their thirst because they never get thirsty. They never get tired. He didn't really need to prepare them a place to sleep, place to rest, all these accommodations. Yet, yes, he did receive credit for that. Not because he did them. Not because he greeted them, not because he fed them, not because he gave them a place to rest and things to drink, but because of the way he did it. He did it with joy and enthusiasm, as though he did it for the first time. And that's why, right now, we, the Jewish people, are still living off his merits and his good deeds, not because of what he accomplished, not because he went out of his way, but because he did it with happiness. The efforts that resulted after Abraham took care of these people who were really angels resulted in happier people. We never really accomplish anything. We are told about the story about Abraham in great detail to remind us that even though Abraham was who he was, he really never accomplished anything in his life because Hashem, our God, makes things happen. We do not accomplish anything in our lives, and we never will. The only one who accomplishes anything is Hashem. The results are not in my control. Abraham set out with a mission to satisfy no one because they were not people. So he accomplished nothing and helped nobody. We too don't accomplish. We make big plans. Yes, we have to engage in personal effort. We have to do in this world things, food doesn't come, into our mouths. We're not given a livelihood just like that. We have to work for it, yes. But we need to constantly remind ourselves that we don't make things happen. I can work so hard to earn a certain degree and nothing may come out of it. I may work and pray so hard to have children, or a certain amount of children, or boys or girls, and may or may not happen, but it's not my fault. I may want a talent in this area and I never get it. It's not my fault. This is giving us so much chizuk, so much encouragement, inspiration. Stop blaming yourself for the life that you wish you lived. Pray to Hashem. Ask Him to please guide you, to enable you to see that everything that He has given to you in your life is exactly perfect. People blame the way they grew up, blame their parents, blame their siblings, blame their grandparents, blame the fact that they didn't have so much resources and they're not the people they became, blame the fact that they didn't receive so much love or attention as a child and they are the way they are. We need to stop playing the blame game. Everything that happens is not a result of your talents. It is not a result of our abilities. It's only because Hashem wants to give it to us, because He knows what's best for us. In other words, whatever your life circumstance is exactly what you need to serve Hashem. If you have a family, it's not how many kids you have, and if you're married for 20, 30 years, and if you have an established house and a good career. You accomplish nothing. This is what the Parsha is telling us. How do you take care of your children? What's your attitude? Are you grateful for what you have? How do you admit people in your house? Do you get it to your head that everything is yours? It's not yours. Hashem gave you everything that you need. It is a gift. It's an opportunity to be thankful. Enjoy it. But you didn't accomplish anything. Hashem decided to give you what He gave you to serve Him. And you have what you need to serve Him. So everything that we have in our lives, all our circumstances, it is not your fault if your life isn't going the way you want to. It's exactly what you need this moment, this point in your life to serve Hashem. So nothing is really your fault. So we need to stop playing the blame game. Yes, we are responsible for our actions, but things that happen to us in our lives, we don't make anything happen. If something breaks, if something doesn't break, if a meal turns out delicious, you didn't really make it happen. HaKadosh Baruch Hu did. Sometimes we put a few things together we never thought we could as a cook, and it comes out delicious. We didn't know that. We didn't try to do it that way, but it came out that way. So that's in everything in life. What does Hashem want from me if I cannot accomplish anything? And the answer is, what Hashem wants from me is doing the mitzvah like Abraham. Do the mitzvah with love and with joy. And Hashem only cares about how we do what we do. The outcome is ultimately in Hashem's hands. We can try our best to do what we do, to want to accomplish the certain outcome, but we can't control the outcome. And this is such an amazing reminder for all of us to remember. And this will help us live a life of serenity. I have to remember that I cannot make anything happen. I can infuse what I do with love and gratitude because Hashem enabled me to do it. So parenting becomes a pleasure. Just because you're a parent, you're given an opportunity to parent His royal children. The way your children turn out, those of us who have children, it's not because of you. It's not because you did everything right and she did everything wrong. It's because this is the way Hashem wanted them to turn out. So sometimes we do everything right and our children turn out totally not the way we want to, God forbid. But this is our mission. We are the perfect parents for this child. Maybe certain types of character traits are going to be activated within us. We're going to enhance them by this child. It's perfect for us. There's no blame. There's no I did something wrong and Hashem did something wrong and you didn't do something right. A person can live their whole life resenting their life, resenting their circumstances. Avraham did not benefit anyone with his chesed because he got credit for it. But he got credit for it because of the way he did it. Hashem does not want us to be robotic Jews, doing things by rote. A person can think that they're living a religious life, but really not being connected to Him at all. We are not to live robotic lives. We are to think about what we're doing, to do a mitzvah as though we're doing it for the very first time. When you're praying, when you're doing a kindness, as though you're doing it for the very first time. And everything becomes exciting and new. In Shamayim, in the heavens, there's no such thing as something being repeated. Okay. So she's checking her vegetables for insects again. Okay, she did it before, so we'll just we know she does it. It doesn't work like that in Shamayim. In Shamayim, it doesn't work like that. It's as though she did it for the first time, and her Shamayim is wow, wow, she controlled herself. She didn't yell. Wow, she did this kindness even though it was hard. Everything is a wow. There's no such thing as, okay, this is the chesed category, the kindness category. Okay, this is the controlling her anger category. This is controlling her patience category. And this is being able to give tzedakah money, charity. No, she did it before. Okay, no. Every time you do something, it's a whole party up there. The only challenge is for us, we usually beat ourselves up and look down on ourselves, and we only magnify what we did wrong. This is for most people. But we need to know that our greatness is in the little things that we do, in everything that we do, and it's counted as though we did it for the very first time. It's the way you do what you do. So I'm going to leave you with a practical tip to stop blaming yourself and other people for the way you have your circumstances. Whatever challenge you have, that's the channel you need to get closer to God. That's exactly what you need. So as women, we attribute so much of our success to the way we run our homes and what we've done for our families. I saw a cute little message by someone saying after a certain amount of time, she had a baby, finally I'm able to make challah. I'm able to bake bread. And she likes to bake bread. But she isn't more worthy now because she makes bread. She was able to make the bread. Okay, great. Enjoy it. But it's not now she hasn't accomplished more in life. When she was not able to bake bread, that's exactly what Hashem wanted from her. Now she's able to bake bread. She can do that too. That's another great mitzvah. But saying, well, I accomplished this, not saying that anybody did this, but we don't accomplish anything. That's what we have to keep in mind. If we're able to do it and not hurt anybody in the process, it's the way you do it that matters, not the fact that you did it. How did a person get to baking that bread? Hope I didn't hurt anybody's feelings and none of my family's feelings as I was baking the bread. Sometimes we're stressed. We have so much going on. Then that means, you baked bread and it was a beautiful mitzvah. But if we're stressing everybody in our family because we baked bread or made 5 entrees and 25 salads, how much credit do we get? This Parsha is teaching us, Parsha Vayera. We do not get much credit for it because we didn't do it out of happiness and joy. We did it because we're entitled to get the appreciation and respect, and because people need to respect me by how much I do. Maybe that person is coming from that end. But this is such, eye-opening, and it's going to give us a life of serenity and peace, knowing that we really don't accomplish anything. Anything that we do accomplish, it's really a gift from Hashem that we're able to do it and do it with happiness and serenity and joy. And I'm going to leave you with practical tip to say the following affirmations. There's 2 affirmations. You can choose whichever one and say it to yourself over and over again every time you think you need it. It's not how much I do, it is how I do it that counts. And another one is, I don't accomplish a thing in this world. My job is to do the best I can with what I am given. So I really hope we will be able to internalize that we're not here to accomplish. We are here to be, being and becoming. Leah Abramov, appreciating the insights of Rebbetzin Esther Bela Schwartz, awakening awareness of your greatness and potential.